certainly a difficult journey toward some.
I love this brown filter. This is I cleaned it finally. I cleaned it with some Windex. These are the glass filters that I made out of some brown beer bottles, alcohol bottles that I got outside a liquor store. The smashed up bottles outside a liquor store. Put some glue gun around them. Put a potato chip clip holder on them. And I noticed that I look for the least disrupted pieces of glass because now, mind you, these are just bottles. They're not professionally made filters. So I know that anybody who has money could do a lot better than what I'm doing here and showing you this, or going and looking for yourselves to be able to replicate what I'm doing, how easy and inexpensive it is. You know, glue gun sticks are like $6 for a package of them, and I make filters, and they last me a year of glue gun sticks just for that purpose. And I use it for all kinds of shit, gluing the eyepiece on the telescope so I can put a simple, shitty little camera, a $35 cell phone, and I can mount it to a telescope, a $10 tag sale telescope. So if I actually had money and I could make life a lot easier for myself when showing this to you, but it's also important for me that you all go look for yourselves and don't consider this to be an entertainment thing. I don't ever want anyone to think that this is about entertainment, what I'm showing you. And that's really tough because everybody loves being entertained, even the ones that deny it and say they're out there looking for facts and truth and reality and everything. Really, it's just look at who we're looking to, you know. The whole point of my thing is to call out all these people that make those claims that others make those claims about, no matter who it is. And I've called out a couple hundred people at least already. I haven't counted them all. Maybe one day I'll do a. But again, anything you do like that, if you have a big tribute day, and I make a whole series to my own channel, it becomes like an entertainment thing too, you know. So I don't want to contradict myself. So what I noticed about the brown filter is dark, so that works nice. But they're the bottles are thick and they do have some texture to them, just like the plastic ones when they get scratched. So I guess what's the difference, right? Um, so I lose some of the crisp clarity, the detail, but it seems to be okay on the large images. Looking in on small, like when I'm aimed at the clouds, let's say, because it's always image within image. That's the way it is. In the True Creators work, everything is collaged and it's image within image. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, over and over from the veil to the ground. And when you're following timelines, is how I was naturally cutting apart, picking apart the images, colors, timelines, and if I'm pointing at it to you, maybe you'll understand it better. So, as I'm doing my remasters, I will do that. I usually do. Point out timelines. Like right now I'm driving, it's kind of hard for me to look in the camera and do it. When I get somewhere, maybe I will. So the castor oil and coconut oil cure all benefits seem to be becoming a little more popular. Nobody that I've found in the last week or two that I've been looking into it, nobody is still admitting the Metellus. It's hard for me to put things into words because got to be careful how I word things. But the Metellus, that's really what we're curing when we're using these ingredients. Drinking the castor oil and the coconut oil, drinking it, cleaning ourselves out of it, of all the what we call toxins. That's what everyone loves to call them. I'm listening to massage therapists who use coconut oils and castor oils, and they're kind of staying away from tea tree oils and lemons as cleaners, and more going along with the antioxidant properties in the oils, in the castor oil and the coconut oil. But I'm very happy to see it because I think it's going to help everyone a lot, even if they want to continue denying what the actual issue is going on. But they're noticing that they got to be careful with what they say too, because you got the medical industry, then you got the holistic medicine people. They're all fucking liars. So they really are. They can't help themselves. We cannot help ourselves. We are human beings, and nothing that comes off this fucking tongue is truthful. So here I am explaining to you that everything that these people are telling you about the castor oil and coconut oil are true, but at the same time, they're not true for the true reasons. They're still calling all these psoriasis, cirrhosis of the liver, acne, um, athlete's foot, funguses, um, dandruffs, liver spots, skin discoloration, skin tags, eye issues in the eyes, clearer white areas of your eyes, better vision, all the things that the castor oil and coconut oil people are realizing the benefits to them and they're using them, but they're still calling it what the medical industry calls these so-called viruses, diseases. Um, they're all Metellus, everyone. They're all Metellus. That's what it all comes down to. I don't even know if this fucking filter's on right. It might be too dark for the day. For this day. Anyways, yeah, they're moving fast today too. So yeah, so I'm glad to see it. So I always like to try to pull in something about the Metellus into my series, but when I start showing people what they are, the Nanolist Metellus, there's Electrometellus, there are several Biometellus, there are millions of each strain, and they're all around us. Um, when I start telling people that, they freak out, everyone just freaks out. Oh, he's got no right saying shit like that. You don't know what he's talking about. Just go look for yourselves. It's like I'm showing you the true creator all around us. Same thing with the Metellus. I'm just showing you some building, what they're using as building blocks, bio species that are used as building blocks. We would call them organisms, living organisms. So just to simplify it, they're all different strains of Metellus. That's what it is. Right, I'm just gonna leave the filter off because otherwise I ain't gonna see shit. what to talk about. Maybe talk a little bit about YouTube a little bit, I guess. Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Um, so to any auditors that might come to these auditor series that I'm doing, I mean, come on, man. I mean, you think you're being suppressed going around to these town halls, police stations, and shit? A way bigger suppression would be all these internet channels that everyone has. Really, I mean, the suppression is really bad. When we're listening to all this Diddy stuff and that's going on right now with all the elites and everything, I mean, it's just a part of their duality shit, man. That's Freemason and Illuminati duality shit. You know, O.J. Simpson stuff. They're bringing the Kardashians back into it and everything. We already knew all this. We already knew all this during the trial that it was all Freemasony, Illuminati. We don't even know if anybody really died during the O.J. bullshit story. We really don't. I mean, they could have just gave her a new life and put her somewhere. We don't know. Everything's a fucking hoax. And then if you dare think about things as being a hoax, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's fucking ridiculous. There's no conspiracy. It's just the way it is. They like to do their duality fucking gay shit. It's, same thing. All the words I'm listening to, that's what making me think of it, is that all the words are being cut out when I'm listening to these videos now. It's always a whole sentence and then a bunch of beeps. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, 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 boop, beep, 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 because you can't say any of the words that I cannot even say right now. But you all know what they are, whether it has to do with Diddy stuff or Weinstein or I did a series, but I didn't even include any of his work in my series. Was Russell Brand. They all play their duality. They've done this over the years. They all have to take a fall. They all have to fall on their sword. You'll hear me many times talk about that in my videos. That should be not a big deal to the rest of us. I mean, to the rest of us, it should be, oh yeah, another Freemason falling on his sword. All this Trump against Biden shit in politics and everything, like Candace Owens against the Jews and all that. You know that none of that's real, right? You do understand that they're doing all that. It's like a big show. It's just a big fucking show for them. Entertainers. They're entertainers. So anytime I complain about them being entertainers, it doesn't do me any good because that's what everyone likes. Everyone wants that. We demand to be entertained and lied to. We demand it as human beings. So, I mean, the censorship. So, is that the same thing that the auditors are doing? I mean, I really like Brian from Here's the Deal, and I'm already most of the way done with that series anyway. I only got another, a few more weeks. I'll be working on that series. So, I'll be done with the auditors probably. I was going to go on with the auditors, but I think I got to call out some of the people on the Metellus and get some facts straight about some of those things. I definitely will do a real nice part of the moon when I'm closing out this Here's the Deal series. I also noticed that Brian, from Here's the Deal on his channel, he has the moon in different stages on his page, his front page, which I thought was interesting when I noticed it. Yeah, so anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting when I noticed that. So I'll make sure that I include a big part of it, maybe skip the Metellus and start the Metellus on a series to somebody about the Metellus. Because the Metellus is huge. I have not met anybody, now that I know what it is, I don't ever meet anyone who I cannot find evidence that they are carrying different strains of this Metellus. Nobody. I don't see anybody. It's not. At best, I can say I've met a few people that I have my doubts, and I say, "Wow, that's amazing that that person. I don't see any signs of the Metellus. I have to dig for it. It's not going to be obvious in their hair, their skin, their eyes, the way they walk, the way they talk, the odor, smells, all those other indicators of different strains of Metellus." But it's funny listening to the people that are doing the castor oil thing, and they're just pointing out that have no explanation for it. And the reason why they can't have no explanation for it is because they cannot admit to the Metellus. They cannot get their brains to go there. But it is really interesting for me to watch because I've already let myself there. I've already been there. I see it now. I see what they did. I see what we did to ourselves. And I'm laughing to myself because I'm thinking about this one girl I was just watching a little while ago, and she was so astonished that everything went away. And when you go back to my videos that when I first started doing them, when I found the Metellus, probably go back 5-6 years into my videos, and you'll see when I was just learning about the Metellus and what was going on with it. And that's when I named it, because I had to come up with a name. Mittellies, Mitel Lies, or Might Lies. That's the way I spell it. And I did that on purpose because the actual language used to describe what Metellus actually is, at least the bio of them, the electros and the nanoliths, then people can get their head around that. They'll be okay with those. They won't see them as a bio threat. But unfortunately, what they need to know is it is the nanoliths and the electros that are the builders of those bio species that we know as biometallus. And anyways, they're clearing up every fucking thing with this castor oil, and I'm like, this is so funny because I was telling everybody this in my videos, and again, I had explanation for it where these people don't. They don't really have it. They're just, and as a matter of fact, they're even nervous about saying, you know what? I used to have hemorrhoids all the time, and now since using the castor oil, I don't have hemorrhoids anymore in my life. Or they'll say things like, I had these liver spots all over the side of my face, down my neck, and ever since I started using castor oil, I don't have them no more. Or they'll say, you know what? I had cataracts. I was going to go for surgery, and I started using castor oil, and now the cataracts have dissipated, and I can see better in my eyes. A lot of people repeating the same shit, right? And they have but I'm not a doctor. I'm not making any claims. They have to say, this is what they have to say, right? Now they have no idea that all these things they're talking about are all different strains of Metellus, right? But I see it, and I know it, and I can see it. So I'm laughing to myself as I'm watching these videos. I'm saying, oh, I'm so happy for you. You know, who cares at this point? Who gives a fuck if they realize what it actually even is? Um, at least they're fixing it all, right? Then you have other people, they're doing liver cleanses with it, and they're doing the body wraps, and they're pouring it in their belly button, knowing that the belly button is soaking up all that and doing a good job to bring it to the rest of your body quicker, right? All this shit. And they figured it all out. Even though they're not, yeah, see, it's a little too dark. Um, you gotta have the right day for this brown filter, that's all. It's a little too dark. You lose too much crispness, too much clarity you lose in it. So I'm looking for another filter. I could swear, yeah, I did bring it good. Okay. This is my sunglasses filter that I'm really hot on now too. The reason why I like the sunglasses filter is again because of the clarity. I can get so much more clarity out of it. All right. just want to finish talking about this. So, the castor oils. Now, a lot of the people that have found the castor oil to be a huge help, not all of them have realized that if they cut it in half first with coconut oil and then add all their other oils, they're much better off. The coconut oil also, just like the castor oil, has these antioxidant um, capabilities to it. That's very important. But several other important aspects to it that none of them are willing to even look at. Because the other one is the extraction. The castor oil goes down deeper than the coconut oil does. It seeps in deeper. It stays on longer. It's stickier. All that kind of shit. It does not have temperature issues where the coconut oil does, but that sometimes is a benefit using coconut oil. So to mix the both of them together is a good idea. At a 50-50 mix is the best idea. Cost wise, for what you get out of it, it's the best idea. Um, and uh, and so there's a lot of things that I myself can help them with, but unfortunately what's going to happen is when I do my videos, I'm going to scare them all away because I'm going to be talking about the Metellus, and I'm going to be letting them know the truth and the reality of it. The same way that when I show you guys the clouds, I'll get a lot of people saying, hey, cool clouds, man, cool clouds, nice sunset, beautiful sunrise, huh, that you got photos of and videos of, nice sunrise. That I'm not saying nothing. I don't give a fuck about the sunrise anymore. I don't give a fuck about what you call clouds anymore. I'm way beyond. So that tells me they have not seen any of my videos that I'm actually speaking in. That's the only reason they're here. That's the only reason they signed up for my channel is because they think beautiful clouds, beautiful sunset, nice sunrise pictures, and that's not what I'm fucking about. So as soon as they come across some of my videos that I'm actually speaking like I'm doing right now, they will discontinue and they will not want to know me anymore, and they don't want to know the channel. They're not going to recommend the channel to somebody else who might be open-minded. It's another way YouTube closes us down because YouTube lets my videos out only to a certain group of people who will not be benefit to me in showing this all to you, right? And then the ones that they do, let it out to, then they don't. I only get a shit amount of views. Is my whole point. So like, there's a banging video that is one of my last videos that I put up. It's really good. It was done with the blue filter in the beginning, and then the brown filter at the end, and it's really fucking eye opening if you actually sit there and watch the video. And I don't think I'm talking much in it either. But they did not letting it go through. I watched that video 20, 30 times already since I put it up, and it was stuck on 7 views for days, for the couple days that it was up, because it was only put up 2 days ago or so. But I know I was watching it over and over and over again because I want to see, why are they not seeing it? Why are they not showing their family and friends if they don't themselves see it? Why is this happening this way? One of my why do the zombie slaves choose to be zombie slaves? I love that question. So they're going to do the same thing with the castor oil. When I start talking about the castor oil and the coconut oil, they'll allow me to talk about it. And they might even let those videos get some views. As soon as I start talking about it and letting people know the reality of it, no, you can stop calling it cirrhosis. You can stop calling it eczema. You don't have to call it eczema anymore. It's not fucking eczema. What you call allergies and what you call lung disease and what you call all these diabetes for that matter, cancer, when you call these things that the medical industry refers to them as, and you go along with that shit, okay, so as soon as I start telling you and showing you what it actually all is, and you can find the strains of Metellus for each of those things, but some of those so-called diseases, some of those so-called sicknesses, ailments, some of them require many strains of a nanolith Metellus, and then many different strains, I should say, and many different strains of an electrometallus in order to make that biometallus because that's what they're doing. The builders use them as building blocks. The same way they use heavy metals and minerals from the rocks and stones to build species that are not biospecies. For example, the rock, the stone, the pebble, the dirt, those things that do not, they hold energy. They're still in the true creator system. They're not the same as biospecies, but they're still a species. They're still a living creature. They still carry life. A rock carries life, energy. You know this is true. You know this is true. I'm not trying to sell you a pet rock. I'm telling you the way it is. Although selling pet rocks is a really good idea, to get people to understand that a rock, although it's a rock, and you think of it as not a non-biospecies, okay, it's not, but it still holds an energy and it's still in the true creator's realm. So therefore, it's built by the true creator's builders. Rocks, stones, mountains, everything in this fucking realm. All those things up there, the wandering stars, the planets, whatever you want to call them, the stationary stars, the what you call the moon, the sun. These things are all made up, and they're all in the true creator's work. So they're all made by the true creator's builders. The builders build everything here, they build everything there. Because everything in here is seen as one. It's not seen as up there, down here, over there. It's all seen as one, and that's the way the builders build. And nothing is what we were told as human beings. That eclipse, I'll close this out. It's going to end in a second. The eclipse, what a fucking joke. The so-called moon, the black dot, went up. It went up through the sun. I'm watching my video back and I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I'm the only one pointing this out and showing it. 7.8 billion zombies, hundreds of millions of them going to this stupid eclipse and watching it happen, and none of them pointing this out. And I remembered back in 2017, I remember pointing the same thing out. I remember saying to the guys when we were there, Izzy, if you're still on my channel and you will come to this, remember, I was saying that. I was saying that doesn't make any sense. Why is it going up through the camera? Why is it going up in our eyes when we put the fucking lens on? I thought every other time the moon's coming across our sky, east to west, the same way that the sun appears to be coming, right? So why would the moon be going up through? I've never seen the moon go up through, especially in that. Maybe you could say down through if it was to pass our view of the sun. If the moon is going to go in front of our view of the sun, it should not be going in a path from ground to up, from down to up. It should not be. Think about it and go back and look at the videos. Do a slow play of it, because that's another thing I noticed. Everyone puts a picture up there of the sunlight coming through on one side of the eclipse and making it look like a reverse crescent, right? Because the light is on one, it looks like a reverse crescent, and you see the big dark circle, right? And so you think that it's going to continue going to the